Welcome back to Shane's Main Shop. Today we're working on a 1966 Mustang, and more specifically the transmission. The gear selector shaft seal is leaking, and so we're going to replace that. And of course, we're going to get in there, we're going to do the filter and a couple other things as well. Let's get underneath and show you what we're working on. All right, what we have here is the C4 transmission in a 1966 Ford Mustang, and we're going to be specifically replacing the seal in behind here. But in order to do that, you got to pull the pan off, pull the valve body out, and get to the inside as well to make this happen. So first we're going to do is get these screws off, which I just started, drain the fluid out, and then we'll take a look inside there. All right, so these bolts actually were barely finger tight. I was very surprised. So you can see this whole thing is soaked, so probably have more than one issue. Maybe the gasket's been leaking right along, but I know the shaft seal is leaking, so we definitely got to do that. But it looks like we got a couple other issues we're going to deal with. I don't work on a lot of Fords. In fact, I don't really work on, well, yeah, I got a Ranger, but this has been my wife's dream car, so we're working on this one. And I've been told and heard that that's a very common seal to go bad on them. So let me just finish getting this pan off here, and we'll take a look. So I should have had the video running, but I left 2 or 3 bolts in, and I just barely touched the corner of it here to crack it loose, and I fortunately had the pan just about in the exact spot, so I caught, I'd say, 99% of it, which is good. We'll let that drip a little bit here, and then we'll finish taking the screws off. All right, so now I've pushed it back up. I'm holding it in place and took out one bolt, or just one more bolt out, and then this pan will come off, and one that making more of a mess here. Hopefully I don't dump it on myself. Okay, that should be it. Okay. All right, so hey, you're looking at it with the pan off, of course. The spot we need to get to is in behind here. So we got to take off this valve body, but we're not going to take it apart. So there's a certain set of bolts you need to make sure you leave in, which is the smaller bolts we're not going to take out. We're just going to take out the larger ones, and that'll remove the whole valve body and give us access up into the transmission a little further so we can get to what we need. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and change the filter while I'm at it and replace that. So we're just gonna let this drip for a little bit first so we don't have to get so messy when we do this. So I'm on my last couple larger screws here, which is gonna remove the whole valve body. And once I got them loosened, all of them, then a lot more fluid came out. So I figure I'm gonna get this last one here, the last couple, and I'll probably make more of a mess. I am wondering why it won't come out. I missed a bolt right here. Hopefully that's the one. Let that drain a bit. I'm trying to hold up on it and get that last one out without getting covered. And of course, it doesn't want to come out by hand. Alright, so that's going to allow the valve body to drop down. There we go. Look at that real quick. We're going to set this aside. We're really not doing anything with this other than replacing the filter. So we're going to go ahead and set this aside, and then we'll show you up inside there. Alright, so this is the inside piece that we have to disassemble so we can pull the shaft out and then get the seal out of the outside over here. So that's what we're going to be working on next. But that's what it looks like with the valve body out. And I have that over here set aside with some newspaper laid over it so dust and stuff doesn't get down in there, just in case we don't finish this up today. We want to keep this stuff as clean as possible. So what we're going to work on next is just taking this spring off so it's out of the way, and we have to take this little clip on the back side of this, got to come off. Then we're going to go ahead and loosen these up, get this all apart so we can get the seal that we want to replace is inside right here. All right, so to get this nut off, it's a little tricky. If you just turn it, it's just going to want to swivel. And if you do that, there's a piece inside here that'll jam up against the internal parts of the transmission. So a trick is to take an adjustable wrench, put it on the tab that's sticking out from that. You can use that to hold it. Then get your wrench on here, and then you can take this off. And you're not doing anything dangerous on the inside of the transmission. You're holding it all on the outside. So a little trick, because sometimes this was on pretty hard. I broke it loose before I put the camera on it. But then after that, you should be able to just hold it and take it off by hand. You just don't want to ram that piece up inside the transmission, that's all. So now we get that out apart on the outside. You can see this won't come out yet. And the outer one won't come out until we take that nut off, you see right there in the middle of the screen, which is this nut right here. So I've got that loosened up. And we're going to take that off, and then this should slide out this way, which will allow this to slide out this way. Then you can finally get to the seal. All right, so you can see I got this nut off now, which is going to allow this shaft to slide out this way. I guess I can show it, Trace. It's going to slide this out this way, as you can see, which is going to allow us to eventually get this off this way. So it's going to be hard for me to hold the camera and show all of it at once, but I'll try and get a different angle. So this was what was behind, I don't know if you can look up here, holding this shaft on. Now that I have that out, I set that aside so I don't lose it, that little clip. Oh, and what I did was I used this here to hook on it from behind and pushed up on it, and I was able to pop it out. Putting it in ought to be a nice challenge. But I'm sure there's a washer on the back here I got to get off. Yep, there is. So I got this little washer. That's out of the way. And now this shaft should come out from this bar here, which it does. I'll set that up there out of the way, like that. Now we can go ahead, and this should slide out this way. At the same time, you won't be able to see, but inside the transmission, the other shaft will come out the back. And there we go. So there's our two pieces that will not come apart unless you get inside the transmission. All right, and if you look up here on the side, you should be able to see. So there's the seal we're going to replace right there. So we're going to pop that seal out and put the new one in. All that work just to get at that seal, which is on the outside. You want to take the seal out now. There's seal tools and all that, but I don't want to climb out from under the car. One thing you don't want to do is drive it into the aluminum. You don't want to scratch the aluminum, so I'm just going to try and catch it just a little bit and pop that out without. That's not going to pop out easy. Oh, there we go. She's out. The main thing is to not scratch your aluminum. So that's why I didn't want to go up far on that seal. But we got the seal out, and now I can put the new one in. All right, you can see I got the seal back in there. And now basically I'm just going to reverse the process and get this thing all back together. One step at a time. I'm not going to show all that. It's really just the exact opposite of what we just did. But I'll show you when we get things back together all the way. And like I said, I was doing a couple other things too. So while I had it apart, I put a new filter in. Pretty easy. Just finished taking off these screws. Or not finished, but take these screws off. One had to be removed to take the valve body out. It's a different size, but all the rest will come out. Take the filter off and replace it. That's all done. All those bolts are back in. Everything's lined up. Now it's just a matter of cleaning the gasket surface and cleaning the pan and get ready to put that back on. Well, there we got everything all cleaned up, all back together. So we are done. So that's just changing the seal, the input gear selector shaft seal, as well as putting a new filter in it on a C4 Ford transmission. This happens to be a 66 Mustang. But anyways, thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Have a great day, and we'll see you in another video.